So here now we are going to start with the discussion on some of the advantages of going for cloud. Okay, so the agenda for today's session is we are going to start with some of the advantages of going for cloud in terms of both cost wise and in terms of the second advantage is how it reduces environmental hazards. Then second, we are going to discuss about the architecture, the data center architecture of Amazon. Okay, so how the data center of Amazon has been architected, under which we are going to discuss about what is region and what is availability zone and what do you mean by edge locations, and we are going to discuss about this storage part of Amazon. Okay, so under storage we are going to discuss about what is EBS, what is instance store, what is S3 and what is Glacier. These are all the storage part. Then after that we are going to discuss about how to launch a Linux as well as Windows instance in cloud. Then how to frame security rules, how to secure the above said instance by specifying rules. Then if time permits, we can end up with how to attach and how to make a detachment of the hard disk to the existing machines, attach and detach hard disk to the instance that we have launched. So this is the agenda for today's session. Okay, so we have already discussed about this cost benefit yesterday. So according to our requirement, so in a small project, we need a computer with 8 microprocessor with 64 gigabytes of RAM memory and 10 terabyte of storage with Windows server and Oracle as its operating system. This is our requirement. So here this, if you go for investment, it comes around roughly 4 to 5 lakhs of investment. If the same machine, if we got from cloud, how much that it need to spend? The 15,000 rupees that we need to spend. So this is what that we have discussed with respect to this cost. I will let you know in terms of environment at the end. Let me start directly with the practicals, the architectural perspective of Amazon. So Amazon here they organizes the data center under the following manner. Okay, so the location where they have the data center has been termed as region. Yesterday here in India they are having a region at Mumbai. Okay, they are planning for a region at Chennai. It will be in the year 2018. Okay, the announcement has been already made by this Amazon chief. They are planning for another data center, but the most probable location may be at a Chennai location. So what is region? Or then these are all the availability zones under region. Why we need availability zones? What's the advantage of going for availability zones? What is edge location? That's what that we are going to discuss first session as a first part of our today's discussion. Okay. So here the region is nothing but the location, the primary location. All others come here. So here Amazon organizes the data center under the following location. Okay, so the data, the primary location, where they have the data center is called as regions. Okay, the data center primary location, they call it as a region. Throughout the world, they are having 16 regions. Throughout the world, they are having 16 regions. These are all the regions that is associated with this data center. Okay, so here, these are all the regions which they plan for this coming year. Okay, 4 new regions, which accounts to totally 20 regions. Out of these 16 regions, 2 regions are excluded for the global usage. Okay, we can't make use of these 2 regions. One region is called as government cloud region, Amazon government cloud region, which is in USA. And please, participants, you kindly mute yourself. Thank you.
5 minutes.
Okay, so here we have a government cloud region. Here this government cloud region, here it is permitted only for people associated with government sector corporates of United States of America. Only government sector company of USA alone can be permitted here in this region. The second one, the data center which is in China, here it is accessible only for the peoples working with Republic of China. So this excluding these two, the remaining 4 regions is accessible to all. So these are all the 14 regions which we can have access. I will let you know those regions. Using my account credentials, I am logging in. I will show how to get an account here. Mobile. Okay, so here, this is my additional level of authentication that I have configured for my account. That is a multi-factor authentication, under which I had associated my mobile phone. Each and every time, if I make a connection, I need to supply a password, which is authenticated to my mobile phone. So if and only if it is a exact match, I will be considered as a legitimate person. So this is the way by which you can secure the access. Okay. So now these are all the regions associated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 regions. Okay. Out of which the region that we have connected will be highlighted in this manner. A small dash on the side of the region will let us know we are in this region. Okay. Now we got connected to US East North Virginia. So here, these are all the regions associated with Amazon's data center. So here, the next we are going to discuss about availability zone. What do you mean by availability zone? Imagine you are having your one region, you launched your computer on that region. Let me make that the region may be Mumbai, India, Mumbai. So you have the data stored in your computer. Let me make it is a database server. You are having your data stored here. So what happens here in this case? If there is an outage to the entire data center, so this is your region. Mumbai is your region. So it may be a man-made disaster, or it may be a natural disasters like a tsunami or earthquake type thing. Anything is possible today. So if your data center get crashed, and if you have only your data and your resources posted on that region alone, you will lose your information. Here, this high availability, that is ensuring 24/7 access to the data is not ensured here if you have only one copy of your data and one copy of your resources. So to ensure this high availability, to ensure the business continuity without any problem due to the outage, what Amazon has architected here is, so here they organizes the data under sub-regions, minimum of 2 sub-regions. Mumbai is the main region. Under Mumbai, so we may have 2 sub-regions, sub-region 1, sub-region 2. Okay, so togetherly these sub-regions togetherly called as a region. So one may be at Mumbai, another may be geographically separated, not less than 200 kilometers apart. It may be at Pune. They won't disclose the second location. So here, what are all the things that is launched on the primary region? One region may be primary region. So here another may be a backup like region. Okay, what are all the things that you launch on the region will be duplicated in the another region. Here, these sub-regions we call it as a availability zones. In order to ensure high availability of your data, that is accessing the data 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 366 days a year without any issues. Here your data as well as your resources will be replicated minimum across 2 locations. Those locations which is coming under regions is termed as availability zone. In this case, you may have, it is mandatory that a region should contain minimum of 2 availability zones. Minimum number of availability zones within a region is 2. And we can have a maximum n number of availability zones. Amazon is having 5 availability zones at a maximum. So these are all the availability zones associated with this Amazon. Okay. So in US East, in North Virginia, to which that we have connected, you can find we have 5 availability zones. Okay. In this region, North Virginia, we have 5 availability zones. So similarly, if you got connected with this US West California, 3 availability zones. Okay, each and every region should have minimum 2 availability zones. So in our India, in Mumbai, we have 2 availability zones. Okay, so you can find the Asia Pacific Mumbai is containing 2 availability zones. The reason behind having the availability zone is to ensure high availability of your data. Okay, you need to aware of these regions and availability zones. Why so? Because you are if you are launching an instance, like we make a Linux server in a particular availability zone. Okay, availability zone 1. If you want to laterally attach a storage to the availability zone, both the storage and the instance need to be in the same availability zone. So these sort of constraints that you need to follow in certain cases. For that, you need to aware of the architecture of Amazon. So now you know what is region. Region is the location where we have data center. In order to ensure high availability, this region has been subdivided into smaller regions. We call this as availability zones. Then another thing is edge location. The edge location is associated with the database only, RDS only. Okay, so here, let me imagine you have your, this is your data center. This is your data center. So here questions can be asked laterally. I will give you some time. Once our discussion has been over, I will give you some time. You can make note of the doubts that you are laterally. We can go up with this question. Okay. If you interact intermediately, it will affect the flow. Thank you. So data center. So here you may have your data center as US. Then here in this data center, I am having a database. Let me make an Oracle database with the tables like employee table, department table like this. So currently I am in India. So in my office, okay, let me make it. So here several people want to connect with the database. Okay, several people want to connect with the database. So one guy is issuing a query. Select start from basically select start from employee. So what happened here in this case? This network was found to be in India. Okay, this network was found to be India. Here the query want to travel across this internet to reach the data center which is in US. Here in the database, the query will be applied on the database and the result of employee table will be given to the user. If the second employee issue a query, select start from employee, the same table is going to access select start from employee, but where salary greater than 50,000. This is the query applied by the second employee. Once again, this query also want to travel across network to reach the data center. It got processed and it will be returned back. Imagine if there are 100 such users in this network who is going to access the database associated with the employee. Let me make the database maybe sample database which containing around 10 tables in which each and every user may have access to the table itself. All the requests want to travel across this internet to reach the data center. Here it got processed and it will return back the result back to the user. Okay. It will return back to the user. So here the internet will be populated with the unwanted traffic. The internet will be populated with unwanted traffic. So if a similar set of requests arises from a particular network accessing information for a table, so what happened here in this case? The Amazon, in order to facilitate the fast retrieval of information, they have organized across the world several storages. Okay, they have several sandbox, storage area network. You know what is sandbox. Then first user request a table employee And if it receives a subsequent request for the same table, what this will do is Amazon will copy the entire database and the associated tables to the nearest location where they have the SAN storage. This location they call it as a edge location. Okay. In India, we have edge location at one at Mumbai, we have edge location at Chennai, and we have edge location at Delhi. I think okay, nearby Delhi. We have in India edge location at 3 locations. For example, if I am issuing this query from Chennai, what happens is initially the query issued by this user one will go to the data center where we have the database, and it got retrieved here. The same table, if it is successfully, if it want to be accessible by subsequently, and in this case, instead of all the requests transferring to the data center, what happened here is the entire database will be placed to the nearest edge location. So if they are working from Chennai, the nearest edge location will be Chennai location. If the query is issued from Pune, then in that the nearest edge location for Pune will be Mumbai. So similarly, to which nearest edge location the data is need to be stored, accordingly the data will be stored here. All other subsequent requests to this particular table, employee table or department table associated with our databases will be redirected to the edge location, not to the data center. By the way, the network traffic has been very much reduced. That is the way by which Amazon will facilitate ads to make a retrieval of information in a very highly efficient, in a less timed manner. So this is called as edge locations. So how much of duration our data will be there? By default, once the data is brought into the edge location, by default it will be there for 24 hours. So any further access to the data will be redirected to the edge locations, not to the original data center. So this is the way by which the Amazon has organized the data center. One region, and we have roughly 16 regions, out of which 14 regions is access to public and 2 is restricted, one for China, another for US, and within that region we have availability zones. So here we have roughly around, I think so, 47 availability zones. Okay, we have 47 availability zones, I think so. Totally 43 availability zones for this 16 geographical regions. Then each and every region minimum need to have 2 availability zones. At the maximum, we have 5 availability zones in North Virginia. And we have 57 edge locations. Throughout the world, we have 57 edge locations, 43 availability zone, and the edge location which is meant for the database data storage only. Okay, so there are around 57 edge locations. This is the way by which Amazon is having the data and the associated resources. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the components associated with the Amazon. Now these are all the services. Okay, I got connected to that. These are all the services. Now I got connected to the US East data center. Okay, so if you click on this EC2, you can find the availability zones associated with the data center. Okay, you can find these are all the availability zones. Yes, in US East we have 5 availability zones, and the status of availability zones will be listed here. Okay, you can get this service health dashboard. It will list all the availability zones is operating properly. Whenever you launch a instance, it will be launched under the data center. Under the data center, in any one availability zone, it will be launched, and in any other availability zone apart from where it is launched, it will be replicated. That is unaware, that is highly abstracted to the user to ensure high availability. Okay, so as that of that if you want the instances, more instances. Okay, so here in terms of launching the instance, what do you mean by instance here? Instance is nothing but your computer that you are launching in the cloud. We call that as a virtual machine. This is a virtual machine that you launch in the cloud, Amazon cloud, has been termed as instance. Okay, so yesterday itself we have started our discussion of launching an instance. It is a 9-step process. Launching a computer in Amazon is a 9-step process. What we are going to do? So here, this is my machine. Okay, I am working with the i5 with 8 GB of RAM. So my machine is a Windows 7 operating system. So I got connected with this Amazon now. I got connected with the Amazon data center, which is in North Virginia. Here I am going to launch one computer. Here I am going to launch a computer. Okay, let me make it as a Ubuntu computer, and laterly I am going to launch another computer. It's maybe a Windows Server computer, and I will show you how to make a connection and how to work with this computer. Okay, this is the agenda, and laterly we can create volume, we can attach volume, all other process is going to be followed. First step, what you need to do, you want to choose a AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. This is the basic building block of your a computer. To be a layman point of view, you are going to choose the operating system, okay, in terms of AMI. So let me click here and I will let you know. So here if you choose the AMI, it will be listed the associated operating system, Amazon Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows Server, okay. So here all the associated things, Microsoft Server, with the containers, one of the most, with a SQL server, with a web server, everything that is coming under which. According to your interest, what you are looking for, you need to choose the AMI. So if you want more, you can click on this AWS Marketplace. And here you can find thousands of AMIs, okay? So you can find infrastructure-based AMIs, you can find developer tools, you can find business softwares. For example, if you click on software infrastructure, okay, under infrastructure, you can find application development, application servers, big data, databases, network infrastructure, security related things. Okay, so based upon this operating system, Windows, Linux operating system, you can choose the needed thing. If you click on this application or databases, you can get the needed databases. Okay, we have around 300 plus databases, Nash database. Okay, so you can go and make a search SAP HANA. So all these things will be given. If you each and everything will be listed along with the price tag itself. For example, if you are looking for SAP, the price is, this is the price. Okay, so here per hour you need to spend $4, roundly 3.99 per hour for the software, along with the EC2. To which EC2 instance that you are choosing, that payment need to be made. So in some case they may give it free. Okay, so these are all the free tier eligible. Here, if we go for a Artifactory, okay, so this thing we will make use of in our DevOps, JFrog or Artifactory, then this comes with free. Then this software is free, but if you are going to use AWS, you want to pay for the AWS. So according to your requirement, you can choose the needed AMI. Okay, so in terms of AMI has been concerned, there are basically 3 types of AMI. One is public AMI, Amazon public AMI. All users who have an account with the Amazon can able to view the AMI. Second one, a private AMI. These are all the AMIs which is owned by a particular account. Okay, so here to whom this AMI has been shared, for that user alone it will be listed. Private AMI, okay, owned by the account owner. For example, if I am an account owner, I can create my own AMI and I can share the AMI to whom that I am interested. Okay, that AMI has been termed as private AMI. Then third AMI, you can get AMI from marketplace. That is what that we have listed. The public AMI is accessible to all. This is public AMI. All the AMIs, if you have take a login to the account, you can get all the AMIs. A private AMI is the one that AMI is owned by the owner. If you click on my AMI, if you have any AMI created for you, that AMI will be listed. Then these are all AMIs from marketplace. Okay, so you can get the needed AMI. A set of community people, for example, let me take educational institutions. They may have some things common. They may have a forum among themselves and they form a community and they develop some AMIs which is shared among community. Those AMIs are community AMIs. Okay. Now we are going to work with only our public AMI. I will let you know in our course how to generate your own AMI and how to share this AMI under my AMI. Okay. So now we are going to launch a Ubuntu server. Let I click on this Ubuntu. The first step of choosing AMI is according to your requirement. You need to choose the AMI. Okay, I am going to launch a Ubuntu server. Click on select. Step 2. So choose the instance type. Yesterday itself I had discussed. The step 2 is choosing a instance type. According to your application's requirement, you want to choose the instance. Okay. So here, this one organizes the instance under 5 categories. Okay, a general purpose instance, which contains the CPU, RAM memory and hard disk evenly distributed. Okay, it is evenly distributed. This general purpose instance. So here we have a compute optimized. In this case, we have more number of CPUs compared to that of RAM and hard disk. We have a storage optimized. So we have more number of storage. Storage here refers to hard disk. And we have a memory optimized instance. Here we have more number of RAM. For example, if you are going to launch some applications like Apache Spark, the in-memory application, for your server, you need to have more RAM memory. So if you are going to work with some data warehousing tools, you need to store huge volume of data. For that, you need to launch an instance with huge storage capacity. Okay. Then if you are going for this compute optimized, such as image processing applications, then you need to go for a huge number of CPU. For that, you need to go for compute optimized instance. Here GPU instance, GPU optimized, graphical processing unit. If we are going to work with some graphical activity, such as you are going for animations like etc., you need to choose an instance which contain more graphical processing capability. So general purpose, compute optimized, storage optimized, memory optimized and GPU are the major 5 category of your instance. According to your application, you need to choose the instance. Within that instance, you have a small instance, you have a medium instance, you have large instance, you have a extra large like thing. Each and everything differs by, if a small example, if it contains a 2 CPU and 2 GB of RAM, medium may have 4 CPU and 4 GB. Large may have 8 GPU and 8 GB of RAM. Like according to the number of processors, the storage size and the associated RAM capacity, you need to choose the instance. I will show to you here. If you go for a general purpose nano, it contains 1 CPU and it contains 1 CPU and 0.5 GB of RAM. If it is a micro, it contains 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So if it is a small, general purpose small, it contains 1 CPU and 2 GB of RAM. Like if you have a general purpose 2x large, it contains 8 microprocessor, 32 GB of RAM. Similarly, for compute optimized, it will contain more processor. If you take this compute optimized C48X large, it will have 36 microprocessor and 60 GB of RAM. So if you want more storage, you need to go for this storage optimized. Here you find the storage optimized starting from large, double X large, 4 times large, 8 times large like thing. So here you can find a maximum storage of 24 hard disk, each hard disk 2 terabyte with 36 processor and 244 GB of RAM. How to get these prices? I will EC2:info. Okay, you can find the price tag. EC2 instance type and pricing. So these are all the prices of instance. So C1 medium with the C2 CPU with the hard disk capacity. So here the price for the instance is, if you go for on demand, it is a dollar 0.13. If you got a spot instance, I will let you know what is a spot instance and what is other. So if you go for an instance C3 2x large, whose size is 8 CPU and 15, you can find the number of CPUs is 8 CPU, RAM memory size is 15 GB, but your hard disk is 80 into 160 GB of SSD storage. This instance cost is $0.420. Okay, we have variants on demand spot instance that we will discuss. Okay, this is the way by which each and every instance will be listed. Okay, if you go for an instance, what we have discussed now. Okay, D2A3 large with 36 microprocessor, 244 GB RAM, and with a hard disk capacity of 2 TB into 24 hard disk, the instance cost is $5.5. Okay, in US dollar, in Indian rupees, it comes around rupees 400. So if you go for a spot instance, it's very less, almost $1.1 only. This instance you can get it for around 90 to 100 Indian rupees if you go for a spot instance like this. So if before designing your instance, you need to decide for which application that you are going to launch your instance, and you want to decide your budget. So according to this only you need to choose the instance. Now I am going to choose instance which offered as a free. Okay, 3 to micro, which is free tier eligible. I am going to launch the instance. Next, configure the instance. Step 3. So here we need to configure certain parameters here. So here, if the number of instances here, if you want to launch at a stress 10 computers, you want to here place it to 10. Okay, so if you type 100 computers, at a time 100 computers will be launched for you. So now we are going to launch only one computer. Okay, so these are all the additional options. Whether you want to launch on a particular VPC. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. You can create your own private cloud within Amazon Public Cloud, and you can host all the resources associated with your company on your private cloud. So it will you will have a clarity of VPC once we discuss VPC. Now we are going to make use of the default VPC, not on our own VPC. Okay, similarly, so you can assign a role. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management, under which you can assign a role. According to what privileges that is assigned, you can able to do the activity. This IAM will be discussed laterly. Okay, as of now, what we need to know, number of instances alone will be sufficient for today's session. Okay, I had chosen only one instance. Next, adding the storage. By default, they will give us 8 GB of storage, and being it is a Linux instance, the storage will be /div/SDA. SD stands for SCSI disk, A stands for first disk, 1 stands for partition, first partition. Okay, we have a general purpose storage whose size is 8 GB. Next, if you want to attach additional hard disk, you click on this volume, add volume, then you can add additional hard disk here. Okay, so now we will start with only one storage, and that storage that we are going to have is root storage. Now we are going to add a tag to your instance. Adding a tag instance, assigning a name to your instance. Click on add tag. The tag need to be represented in a key and value pair. The key is name. The value is, let me make it as a Ubuntu server. Okay, Ubuntu server 1. Let me make Ubuntu server 1. So next important thing is configuring security group. Okay, so what is security group? Yesterday itself we have discussed about this security group. So you are launching your instance in a Amazon public cloud. You are launching your instance in a Amazon public cloud. Here, your instance need to be secured from the hackers and external attackers. For that, you are going to assign a firewall. The firewall will contain some rules. These rules will specify who should be allowed to access your computer and who should be denied. Okay, so allowed access and denied access can be made by using a network address. from which network address it need to be given access, from which computer's IP address it need to be accessed, from which port number the access need to be made permitted, like thing we can able to allow or deny based upon the above set rules. Okay, the firewall in our cloud is called as security group. The firewall in our cloud is called a security group. We are going to play with this security group. How to allow and how to deny, I will show to you. Okay. Now click on this. So you can either create a new security group or you can make use of the existing security group. Now I am going to make use of an existing security group or a new security, is up to your choice. Okay. So a new security group under the name will be created. You can assign your own name. This group security group contain only one rule, that is it allows connection to the computer using SSH secured cell, and the port number of SSH is 80. Here there are three options. One is anywhere. What do you mean by anywhere? If you specify anywhere, you can able to connect your computer that you have launched here is in US data center, US North Virginia. I am in India with my computer. Okay, so these are all my network other computers associated with my network. Imagine my network address is 170.100.10.1. Okay, this is my network address and this is the IP address of my computer 170.100.10.2 etc. We have several computers in my network. So similarly, there is another computer in Japan. There may be another computer in UK. Okay, so who can able to access? But this is my Ubuntu server that I launched. Okay, so in this firewall, I need to specify rules. Here, if I specify anywhere, access from anywhere, as of this, access from anywhere instance, it permits access from any computer in the world. The address 0.0.0.0, it defines the internet address. That means you can able to connect with the computer either from any computer from India or any other computer from Japan, any computer from US, like it will permit access to any computer. That is option one, anywhere. No, I want my restriction. Okay, only the computer associated with this network alone should be given access to access my Ubuntu server here. If that is the case, what I need to do here is, instead of specifying anywhere, I want to specify custom. In the custom, I need to specify my IP address 170.100.10.1 slash I need to specify my mask. Okay, this is the way by which I can restrict my access, okay, to this Ubuntu server that I launched in the data center only from the computer associated with this network address. No, I want the access only to be made from the computer where currently I am working with. If that is the case, if I want to restrict the access, no other computer should be given a permission instance. Here what I need to give here is, instead of custom, I need to choose my IP. Automatically my public IP will be chosen. These are all the three ways by which you can restrict the access to the computer that you are launched in. For our example, let me make it from anywhere. Okay, so that you also can access, I also can access, anyone in the world can access my computer. Next, review and launch. We have chosen the AMI, we have chosen the Ubuntu server. Second step, you need to choose an instance. You need to choose the instance according to the applications requirement. So we have chosen a instance, a free instance, a micro instance, then configure instance, under which we have configured only one computer to launch, and storage we have only 1 8 GB. We have not attached any additional thing. Add tags, I assign the name Ubuntu S1 for my server, and security group. I configured a security group. The name of the security group is Launch Wizard, which permits access from anywhere to port number SSH. And finally, we are going to review and we are going to launch. Now the option. Another important thing. What here it prompts for a key pair. So as of our yesterday's discussion, what Amazon will do, it will create two keys for this instance. One key called a public key, another key called private key. The public key will be retained by the Amazon itself in the data center. The public key will be retained by Amazon in the data center, and private key will be given to the user, the corresponding user. Okay, the relations here, Amazon follows the algorithm called as RSA algorithm, reverse to Shamir-Abelman algorithm. We will have a separate discussion of it is coming under computer network security. This concept of security key, how to secure your computer, comes in the network security. We have a separate 2 hours of discussion in our later class regarding the security and networking part of this Amazon. Okay. Now we imagine if you have a bank locker, the bank locker contains 2 keys. One key will be managed by the manager, another key will be given to the user. If you want to access this locker, you want to use both the key. If and only if both the key matches, you can able to open or close the locker. So here your user authentication will be ensured only based upon these keys. Any person who possesses the key will be treated as an authenticated user according to the bank rule. Similarly, in Amazon, you launched the key. Myself, Raman, launched a computer, that is Ubuntu server in Amazon. What Amazon will do, it will generate 2 keys. One is public and private key. It will keep the public key with this data center, and private key will be given to the user. If each and every time, if a user want to make a connection with the computer he launched in the data center, it prompts for the private key. Okay, this is the private key. Okay, either I can create a own new pair of key, or I can make use of existing key. First, I am going to show you create a new key pair. So my new key pair is Thiru 6. Let me make it through 6. So what happens here in this case? This key pair will be downloaded and it will be shared in my machine. This is the key pair. Here I am going to use this in my desktop. Okay, save and launch the instance. I will show you the key pair, how it looked like. This is the key pair. So here, this is the key. If you want to get into your computer, you need to know all the key. This is the secret key. Even if there is a change in a character, if there is a okay, this is the key that you need to keep. Okay, so this is the key. The key which is generated by Amazon is .pem key. You just download and you keep the key in your desktop. Launch the instance. Now you can find if you view the instance, your instance start launching. Okay, these are all the 2 instances that we have created yesterday. Ubuntu server, Ubuntu EC2. This is the server that we have launched. You can find the status which is in pending status. Within 10-15 minutes, it will be coming to running status. Yes, my instance is ready. My Ubuntu instance is ready. So if you click on this checkbox, it will list the characteristics of the instance in the down window, in the bottom window. So this is the public DNS address using which you need to connect your instance. Okay, so here the instance status is in running state. The type of instance that we have chosen is a micro instance. You can find the instance as launched in US East 1D. This is the availability zone. The instance got launched. Okay, in US East 1D is the availability zone. The instance is launched. Then the AMI ID is I have chosen Ubuntu. This is my AMD. Okay, the key that I have chosen is Thiru. Thiru is the key, and this is the owner of the instance. The account ID of the owner will be listed here. So this is the hard disk associated with the instance. Root device SDA. Okay, you can also click on the block device SDA. What is the difference between a root device and block device? A root device is one which contains the operating system of the instance. Initially, we have launched our instance using only one hard disk. That's the reason why it is showing only one hard disk. Now I need to connect to the instance. For connecting to the instance, what I am in need of? I need 2 things. Okay, one, I need this private key. Each and every time, if I want to make a connection, I need to give my private key. The private key now I have generated by Amazon is 6.pem. This is the key generated by Amazon. This is what that I have shown to you. Okay. Thiru 6.pem. I will show to you the key which is generated by Amazon. Thiru 6. Okay, if you click on the property, you can find .pem file. That is privacy enhanced mail. PEM stands for privacy enhanced Thiru. You can give any name. I had assigned a name Thiru 6.pem. PEM stands for privacy enhanced mail certificate. This is my key. We have a through a public key. Okay, a public key which will be retained by the Ubuntu server, Ubuntu I think S1 in the data center itself. Okay, in data center we have this public key retained by Amazon. Here in my computer I am having this through 6.pem key. So here I am going to make use of a tool called as a putty. I am going to make use of a tool called as a putty. So this is the tool that I am going to make use of it. Click on putty. It shows you that it prompts for a host name. Then here I want to submit this name, this host name. What is the host name of my computer? So either I can give the public DNS address or I can give my public IP address, anything that I can give. So using that I am going to make a connection to the computer. So if I make a connection to the computer using putty, putty could able to recognize this .pem key format. So what format putty recognizes? Putty recognizes a format only .ppk format. Therefore, this key .pem need to convert into ppk. For that, what I am in need of, I need another tool called as a putteacher. These are all the two tools that is associated. Okay, so for that we need a putteacher. Using putteacher, I am going to transform the key into ppk. So you can connect using putty. You can directly connect using SSH without putty also. For that you need to configure JDK in your machine. Then only you can use without putty. I will show all these things. Now how to transfer a key, that is thiru.pem into thiru 6.ppk. I am going to show to you. So here both putty and putteacher are freely downloadable. You can get these two tools in the following site. Please make a note of these two: www.putty.org. This is the location where you can download this tool. Download putty. You can click on download putty here. So these are all the tools. Okay. Putty.exe. According to your machine, whether it is a 32-bit or 62-bit, you need to choose. Similarly, you have puttygen.exe. Putty and puttygen. You have puttygen.exe. These are all the two softwares that is needed. I had already downloaded that putty and puttygen. You kindly keep it in your desktop. So I have putty and puttygen in my desktop. Okay. This is a putty. You have puttygen here. Okay, you can find putty and puttygen. Now I am having this thiru 6.pem. I will show you how to convert this pem key into ppk key. Double click puttygen. Click on run. Okay, you want to load. Click on load. So it will open a window. Here you just choose the file name. Default it shows only .ppk file, all files. Now it will list the file associated with it. We have the file name thiru 6.pem. Choose the file. Okay, once you choose the file, I had saved the file in the desktop. Therefore, choose the file. Click on open. Okay. Now the key is converted. Save private key. Yes. Okay, you can assign a name thiru 6.pem. ppk. Okay, so you save the key in the desktop. So once everything is over, okay, now we have two keys. One is PEM and second one is PPK. Okay, so we are going to make use of this PPK key. Let me check whether machine is ready or not. Now our machine is ready. You can find the status check of our machine found to be okay. So choose this machine to which we are going to connect. Choose this EC2. From EC2 up to this COM you need to choose. Click on copy. Click go to putty. Okay, click on putty. Now in the host name you need to paste that. You need to specify the corresponding name, DNS name in the host field. Now you want to be authenticated as a legitimate user. How you can be authenticated? For that you choose this SSH. Okay, SSH need to be chosen. Secure cell. Click on the plus symbol of SSH. Click on this authentication. Now to authenticate you as a legitimate user, you need to give your key, private key. Click on this browse. You have stored your private key in the desktop. Name of the key is thiru.ppk. Then you can directly give this thiru.ppk file. Click on open. Click on open. Now it will make a connection. Yes, the default password is Ubuntu. Now it will take you to the, it will authenticate with the public key. Everything is perfect. Now you got connected with the machine. Now you got connected with your machine. Clear? Okay. So this is the Linux machine. You got connected. If you type present working directory, it shows that you was under Ubuntu. So ls-l will list you. That is nothing. Okay. Sudo fdisk -l will show you the hard disk associated. You have only one hard disk associated with this. Okay, the hard disk and the RAM associated with this will be listed if you issue this command sudo fdisk-. You have the hard disk associated with the machine is 8 GB. You have a hard disk of size 8 GB is associated. Okay, so we can install anything as this is my Linux machine. I now got created. You can find this is the Linux machine that now I got created. This is my Windows. Okay, currently that I am working with. So when you connect to the data center's machine, it will be connected with my machine, and then I am working as if that I am sitting in front of it. Okay, so what I did here, I had launched the Ubuntu server in the Amazon data center, which is in US North Virginia. Now I am in Madurai in a computer through which I got connected to the Ubuntu server. My entire desktop has been brought into my Madurai server. So as if that I am sitting in front of it, I am going to work with that. Okay, this is the server I got connected. Now I show how to create everything that you can work with. Let me create a VI, another file by name through. Okay, insert. Welcome to Amazon Cloud. Okay, thanks a lot for your file. Yes, escape :wq. Okay, it got saved. Now if you type ls-l, you can find that we created a file by name Thiru on July 9th. Then the time at which it is created is 6:02. This is the data center time. This is our time, 11:32 a.m. This is the current time from the computer where I am connecting. I am in Madurai, Tamil Nadu. This is the data center time, the US North Virginia time to which the machine is connected. You can install anything. Yesterday itself I had shown to you. So let me install Java, or let me install. So I will check it for newcomers. Java version. Okay, you can find Java not installed. To install Java, the command is sudo apt-get. First thing, you want to make an update. Before installing any software, it is advisable to go for an update. Yes, once update has been over, you need to install Java. Sudo apt-get install Yesterday itself we have shown. Now we will be going to show much more. So just for the newcomers, how to install Java. It took roughly 30 to 40 seconds to install Java. That's all. Now, if you issue Java space hyphen version, it shows Java has been configured. Yesterday I have shown you how to create a program and how to run it. Okay, similarly you can install anything. Now what I am going to do, let me first play with these security groups. Okay, so laterly I will do more thing with that. So now I got connected with this machine. Why so? Because my security group, I had created a firewall here. Now okay, everyone? Yes. Yes, thank you. Okay, now what I am going to do, so I am going to change the rule for the security group. So click on the security group. So launch visa to security group, you can find there are two rules. One is inbound rule and second one is outbound rules. So click on the inbound rule. Inbound rule will specifies what are all the traffic that need to be permitted to your machine. Here it shows that the inbound rule, it shows that it permits SSH. Click on edit. Okay, you simply remove the rule. Click on remove the rule and click apply save. Now there is no rule. Okay, if you go to the instance and choose the instance, and if you find that view inbound rules, it shows there is no rule here. That means if you try to connect with this computer, it won't connect you. It will prevent you connecting. Okay, let me check now. So just I am going to disconnect my initial connection. I am going to connect a new. Choose public DNS. Click on copy. Click here. Click on run. Then in host name, you simply paste the address, go to SSH, authentication, browse. So choose your key, private key. This is your key is through 6.ppk. Click on open, and you try to connect. Okay, it will try to connect for some time. Being the connection is denied here, it will throw a network timeout error. This is the way by which you can define your own rule to allow or deny. So it shows network connection timeout error. Why so? Because here the rule, that is your security group rule for this Ubuntu S1, which is launch wizard 2. If you click view rule, nothing is specified. That is the reason why it is denying connection. Let me add a rule now. Okay, go to the security group, click on this launch wizard 2, click on to add a rule, inbound rule, click on edit. So add a rule. Here you need to add a rule. Here you have custom TCP rule. Choose SSH. Click on SSH. Then choose the source address anywhere and simply save the rule. Okay, now your rule has been saved. If you click on this instance, you can find the inbound rule. Click on inbound rule. You can find now the rule allows any access coming through port number 22. Now let me check it. Okay, this is the initial window which deny our access. Now let me check it. Click on from EC2 to COM, copy, the host name or IP, Control V, click on SSH, authentication, browse. Okay, choose your private key. Choose your private key. Through open. Now it prompts you for a username. The default username is Ubuntu. Okay, the default username is Ubuntu. Now it got connected. You can find a file that is created by us initially. This is the way by which you can allow or permit a rule. Now let me configure a web server here. Okay, now in our yesterday session, what we did, we have configured a Java. So we have created a machine, Ubuntu server, and I have shown to you how to make a connection through the port number SSH, then how to deny the connection by disabling the port. Okay, by disabling the port number through the security group. Then I have shown to you and how to install a language, Java, and how to make use of it. In our yesterday session itself, I have shown how to configure a MySQL database. And now I am going to configure this as a web server. I am going to configure this as a web server. Okay, you know, for this web server, I am going to install Apache. I am going to configure a Apache web server. So, and also I am going to create a index.html page, which is the first page of your web server. I am going to configure this machine as a web server. How to configure? Okay, so step, you connect with the machine. I got connected with the machine. This is the machine I got connected. So if it is a web server, you simply copy the public DNS address, copy and open a new URL and paste the address. Okay. So if it is a web server, then the page will be displayed here. The web page will be displayed here. So being I yet to configure, nothing has been displayed here. Now I am going to make it as a web server. Okay, what I need to do? First step one, I need to first step, I need to perform a apt-get update. Before installing anything, it is a best practice to go for update. Yes. Hello. Yes. So I am facing some disruptions in my connection. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is, so under, I want to create an index.html page under the following location. Under www, where under this where www under HTML, you need to create a index.html page. So in Ubuntu, by default, this index.html page will be present. Okay, index.html will be present. If you install any other Linux, okay, like if you install a Red Hat Linux, or if you install this Amazon Linux, in this case you want to create. I will in that index.html page, I am going to create a static web page. That's all. Okay, a static web page that I am going to create a simple web page, which is nothing but open your notebook. Then you simply create this web page, HTML body BG color. For our demonstration, I am creating a small page. BG color is equal to red, heading 1, web server 1 slash heading 1, okay, slash body slash HTML. So a simple web page. Okay, this is the web page that I am interested. Thank you. Okay, so now I am going to connect with that. So your present working directory is Ubuntu. Click on to cd where. Okay, so cd where, under where we have www. So under www you need to move on to HTML. So now we can find the index.html page here. Open the index.html page. So you want to issue a sudo command. then only you will get a privilege sudo index.html page. So here to open this, we need to issue this VI. Okay, you can find a default page here. Now, if you want to make use of it, you can make use of it. So, else, let me create a new page for you. First, you remove the page, rm index.html, so that so each and everything you need a sudo privilege. Don't forget to enter the sudo privilege. Okay, now let me create a new sudo vi index.html. Okay, open, insert, right, right click, copy, paste, escape colon wq. Now you have index.html page. Okay, let me now check whether it is working or not. Once again, you copy the address and click on. It won't work now. Why it won't work? Reason is you want to enable this HTTP. Okay, so where to enable this HTTP? Here, click on this the security group. Here in launch user 2 is the security group. Click on the security group. Launch user 2. You need to add the rule. Edit. You need to add a rule which allows your HTTP. Okay, click on HTTP. Rule port number 80 from anywhere. Okay, save the rule. Now your security group permits any access to a web server. Now click on the same thing. Now you can find a web server 1 is displayed. So this is the way by which you can allow or you can deny any access to the machine by specifying the rules of your security group. Yes, is it clear for you? Now I had shown you the third process of how to configure a web server. Similarly, you can configure a mail server, you can configure a database server, you can configure application server, anything. Now the next process that we are going to show to you, how to attach a hard disk, how to attach a new hard disk to the existing instance. So we have only one hard disk for our Ubuntu server. I am going, that hard disk is the root hard disk, which is nothing but the operating system installed hard disk. I am going to now show you attaching a new hard disk, an additional hard disk, your data hard disk. Okay, how to attach and how to detect. That's the thing that we are going to discuss now. Okay, let me wind up this. So you have your instance, click on your instance. This is your instance Ubuntu S1. You can find that the hard disk attached information under the following location. Click on, you can find a root device and a block device found to be same. Flash div, SDA1 and SDA1. Okay, so if you click on this volume, under volume, you can find the information. Under Ubuntu S1, you have attached this volume. Okay, this volume is attached with Ubuntu S1. This is the information that is listed. Now I am going to create a new volume. Okay, so to attach with this instance. So this is my instance S1. You please make a note. It contains only one hard disk. After attaching a new hard disk, it will list 2. I also check it using the command prompt. In command prompt, if you simply type okay, if we simply type sudo fdisk-l, it shows sudo fdisk -l. It shows it contains only one 8 GB hard disk. Now I am going to attach a 2 GB hard disk and show how to make it. Click on volume. To attach a hard disk, click on volume. So create volume. So here you want to note one thing: before creating a volume, you want to make a check under which availability zone the instance is running. US is to 1D. So the volume that you are going to create need to be under the same availability zone. If you create your volume in a separate availability zone, you can't able to attach the volume to the instance. So the first step, the prerequisites before attaching your hard disk is you want to decide the availability zone under which the instance is running. It is US East 1D. Therefore, create a volume. Click on volume and click on create volume. So you can find a general purpose. The size by default it will be 100 GB. You want to be careful. I am choosing a 2 GB. Now the availability zone, it lists all the availability zone. To which zone that we need to choose? US East 1D. Okay, this is the availability zone. Okay, click on create. A new hard disk will be created. Click on refresh. You can find a new hard disk with the 2 GB created with this status as available. Remaining 3 hard disk which is already assigned to computer, therefore the status is free. You can assign a status. Okay, you can find a new hard disk. Let me make it a new HDD. Click on okay, new hard disk. Now you are going to attach this hard disk. You are going to attach this hard disk. How to attach the hard disk? So this 2 GB hard disk is going to be attached. Click on action. Attach volume. So it shows it is under US East 1D. The name of the hard disk is new hard disk. Click on this instance tag. All the instance which is running on US 1D will be listed. Here we have 3 instances: Ubuntu server, server 2 and server 1. We are now going to attach with Ubuntu S1. Click on Ubuntu S1. Now the hard disk name is /div/sdf. Okay, you can attach from FGH up to, you can attach up to P. Okay, 11 hard disk can be additionally attached. Click on attach. Once you click on attach, now you can find the status of the hard disk now become in use. Also, if you check the hard disk, you click on the hard disk, come down, you can find the attachment information here. It is attached to Ubuntu server S1. This is the way by which you can create a hard disk and you can attach the hard disk. Go to instance. Now click on the instance, Ubuntu S1. You can find under the instance, you can find new hard disk. One SDA1 and another device SDF. These are all the SDA1 is the hard disk initially attached in the above set time. SDF is the hard disk which is currently attached. So 6:26 it refers. This is the time of the data center. Okay, you can also make a check with it. Initially, this sudo fdisk command will list you only 8 GB. Here the same thing. You issue the same command sudo fdisk. Now it will list you 2 hard disks. One hard disk with 8 GB. The initial hard disk. This is the attached hard disk with 2 GB. This is the way by which you can attach a hard disk to the existing instance. If you want to detach, very simple. So here, click on this volume, choose Ubuntu S1. Okay, this is the hard disk. Sorry, new hard disk. Click on action. Simply detach volume. That's all. Yes, detach. Now the status now become from in use. Now become available. Once it got detached, the status will become available. Click on refresh. Now you can find the status of new hard disk as available. Okay, so if you go to the instance and if you choose the instance Ubuntu S1 to which it is attached, you can find it is removed now. /div sd alone is present. If you go to the command prompt, if you issue the same command, now it won't list this one. If you issue sudo fdisk -l, it won't list you the 2 GB. Only it lists only 8 GB. So this is the way by which you can create a hard disk and you can attach a hard disk and you can detach a hard disk. So in terms of Amazon has been concerned, in terms of storage has been concerned, there are 4 types of storages in Amazon. One is instant store. The second one is EBS. That is what that we have practiced. Elastic block store. Okay, the third one is S3. Stands for Amazon Simple Storage Service. The fourth one is Glacier. Amazon Archival Storage. So the thing that is demonstrated to you is EBS. Okay. So we will have a separate discussion on the next week. We have our session on Saturday. Okay. If you won't have session on Saturday, you will be having session on Sunday morning, the same time. Okay. We start our session from 10:30. We end up the session at 12:30. Okay. We have a 2 hours of session. So under which you will discuss the remaining thing. Okay, so up to the next class it will be free for you. If you want to continue further, then I think so each and everyone I will share you the recordings of today's session also along with the curriculum for newcomers. If you want to continue, then you need to pay for the next class. Next class will be free for you. I am showing you some additional things associated with this next class. Okay, if you have any doubt associated, please let me know. Amir, Duke, Sarov, Pawan, Pratik, Praveen, Ram, Satik, Sanmuganathan sir, Srinivas, Subramanian, SS, Vishwadeep. Is it clear for you? Can you please let me know the status? Is it clear?
Yeah, and one question I am having.
Yes, we can also expand the disk size of an existing volume through APIs. I will let you know in a regular class, those things. You can increase the size, you can the size, no issue. Is it clear for you all to which extent that we are discussed? If you have any doubt, kindly let me know. So here our class covers both things. So for newcomers, those who didn't attend yesterday's session, we covered 2 things. One is Amazon Solution Architect plus open source DevOps. So both the thing along with some basic Linux admin and then the concept on VMware, virtualization concept, which covers 10 hours. These 2 things will cover roughly 50 hours. Total duration is 60 hours. So togetherly for Amazon Solution Architect and DevOps, in DevOps we are going up with open source DevOps like Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Puppet, everything. Then the total course fees is 20,000. Okay, so first 5 classes will be free for you to evaluate my capability. After that, if you want to continue, you need to pay. So any clarification, you just send me a mail. If you have any further clarification, you just send me the information to my mail ID. This is my mail ID. Raman, kindly make a note of my mail ID. Raman Sriranga at gmail.com. And my contact is +91 944 34 54002. Another number 8870324388. Okay, yes, if you have any clarification, you just let me know. We have already shared the curriculum and the recordings to the WhatsApp group. Thanks a lot for your patience. So we can meet again on next Sunday. We won't have class on Saturday. Our next class will be on coming Sunday. I will share the Sunday, it is 16th. Okay, the time is 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. 2 hours we will be having our session. Okay, we will discuss further. Sir, what is your question? Whether